people? It's your boy Osman back again with another Rival Fan podcast. Listen, I don't know what's happened with the intro. It seems to be bugging, but guess what? I'm back. The ring light is on me. It looks like I'm in an interrogation, and we are going to be interrogating Liverpool season. Is it a failure? Is it a success? We will be discussing that very shortly. The panel, I don't know where the boys are. Daniel's going to be joining me. Koja's going to be joining me. I dropped stuff on the floor. And of course, Kale, the homie, will be joining me. Kish is currently somewhere in Mexico. Hopefully it's raining for you, bro. I don't really know what's going on with Kish, but hopefully wherever you are, it's shit weather, bro. But listen. We're going to get into it. Kale's just messaging me saying he'll be in 10 minutes. I thought, no, what? I'm not going to let you beautiful people wait. I don't even know if anyone's going to watch this. I don't even know if anyone's going to tune in. I don't even know if you guys still watch my content. But guess what? I'm happy. I'm absolutely buzzing. Yes, I'm absolutely buzzing. It's been a glorious week of football, hasn't it? It's been a glorious week. As Ali said, Hala Madrid. Hala Madrid, let's play bingo. Here for the Liverpool tears. Pending banger, let's go. You loved us here. And Sammy is in the building. So, yes, my standard just broken on me, but I don't care. Couldn't care less. I'm trying to sort my stand out. It has kind of flipping broken. I mean, let me just quickly sort this. There we go. I think we're back. We're back. I think we're back, people. I think we're back. But anyways, listen. It's all about the high energy. Sammy talks of hey. Hala Madrid. Drop a like, subscribe to the channel, all that good stuff. Listen, before we get into the video, I'm just going to give you guys a heads up. You're probably thinking, Osman, where have you been? Where is the content? I'm quite busy at the moment. I'm not going to lie. But one podcast a week, without a shadow of a doubt, which is this one currently, the Round Farm podcast, every single Monday, 9 o'clock. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Next season, your boy has got a season ticket. So we'll be providing match day vlogs. There's a lot of good content to come on this channel. But nevertheless, let's talk about the week that we've just had. We're going to talk about Liverpool. We're going to talk about Mane leaving. We're going to talk about Trent. We're going to talk about Salah in the mud. Yes, I'm shameless. Yes, I'm a Man United fan. We're also going to talk about Ralph Rangnick. What the hell has happened there? We've got Daniel coming on very shortly, so we're going to do a special bit of segment on Chelsea. Daniel, of course, is very clued up with everything that is Chelsea. They have now officially confirmed their new owner, so we're going to get Daniel on very shortly to hopefully give a bit of insight regarding the situation at Chelsea and what that means for them in the summer transfer window. We're going to be talking about Arsenal and their speculation signings, you know, Tillemans, I don't know who else, and Kate, a new contract. Fantastic news for Arsenal. Obviously, going to discuss Spurs' Perisic signing alongside other things. So stay bloody tuned. The boys are coming through, but before we get that, let's get some of the comments in. Let's see what the people are saying. All three of you tuning in, I fucking love you. You guys are the real ones. Know when I make it. When I make it, just know you guys were here through, you know, the ups and downs, should we say. But I appreciate every single one of you that tunes in. Obviously, watches on repeat. Yes, Nippon's in the chat. Big up, my bro. As always showing me love. I was shook in the first half, bro, but we calmed down after they robbed us that goal. Listen, we're going to get into that, obviously. Was it offside? Wasn't offside, but I'll tell you one thing. Oh, that first half had me rattled. I was like, shit, Liverpool are all over you guys. You're going to have to just hold on to halftime, and you did that. And the second half, beautiful, absolutely beautiful season, jubilation. United won nothing this season, mate. Pipe that. Yes, Nippon. Listen, Nippon, I'm going to be shameless. I don't care. I do not care, Nippon. I do not care. We won nothing. Absolutely nothing. We're shit. We're in the mud. We've been in the mud since January. Probably February, we got kicked out after that coming in. We've been in the mud so long, people have forgotten about us. That's how shit we are. But listen, the Liverpool trauma is fresh. They're still taking parades. They're doing parades after losing the Champions League final. Liverpool, what you doing? They had a parade the day after they just lost the Champions League final when they were the favourites. They went through Inter Milan, Villarreal, and Benfica, or whatever order it was. And you lost. You flipping lost. And you're doing the parade. I love it. I'm absolutely elated. Sammy, shout out to you, your team. I know it was never in doubt. Absolutely never in doubt. What can I say? Can I have the link, please, so I can give you the Chelsea side of things, please? Nippon, I'm not going to lie to you, bro. I've just got Daniel on for that reason. But next time, when to be fair, Daniel's very rarely on. So next time, maybe next week, if not the week after, we're going to let you ring in to give us a bit of insight on Chelsea. But yeah, for today, we've got Daniel. I don't know when he is, to be honest. He's meant to be here, but he's always late, so it is what it is. United Way in the chat. Yes, boys. Yes, yes. You love to see it. What? I'm just happy. I'm just happy to be here to talk football with you lovely people. As always, get your questions and get your comments and anything regarding the matter. As I said, we're just waiting for Daniel to come through before we discuss the Chelsea. I don't really want to give my thoughts too much on the situation with Liverpool because obviously that's going to be a big segment on the show. So what I will do, I will start with the Ralph Ranieri stuff while we are waiting for our guests to arrive. Liverpool fans will celebrate when we beat City. LOL. Listen, they thought they had it in the bag. They thought they had it in the bag. But one thing, do not respect greatness. Real Madrid. Hala Madrid. I love them. I love you. I love Real Madrid so much. I've always loved you guys. You've helped us so many times. Through the dark times when we've been shit, you have been there to just violate Liverpool twice in the Champions League. All right, I think Daniel's here anyway, so I'm going to come back to the Man United thing. You know what, Daniel, just drop me a message when you're actually here because I can see you. I can see you beautiful. Oh, he's here. The red curls, he's here. Chelsea's finest. It's been a while. Our resident Chelsea fan has returned just in time to see it. He's in the building. Here we go, my brother, Daniel, my brother. Yes, G. First and foremost, congratulations on completing your first season at Chelsea, mate. Unbelievable achievement, mate. Listen, every time I see Daniel's story, I'm just smiling. I'm smiling right now. Like, yo, I get gas. I'm like, yo, I know him. Yes. You love to see it. Daniel, man, chat to me firstly about that. Obviously, I don't know what you kind of can't say. But firstly, congratulations, man. That's an unbelievable achievement. Bro, what a season for you on a personal level, man. What are you saying?
Nah, it's been really good, man. I appreciate it. Obviously, goes without saying, this has been my favorite show. This was actually, I don't think you ever knew this, but this was actually the first ever podcast I ever did. Like, first ever podcast I jumped on. Yeah.
Jeez,
like
let's go. Got it from the jump before you made it.
Yeah, literally.
Yes. Now he's too big for us. Not joking.
Oh, stop it. Whatever that means. But no. In all seriousness, though, like, if you don't know it, I'm putting it out there for the public. Like, I'm really grateful to you, Kojo, Cahill, obviously the rest of the team, Dan. Like, I literally have a laugh coming on here. That's why it's so great. So
yes.
Big up you. Big up you, man.
We're gonna have a good show because me and Daniel, we got a few things in common, but we got one thing in common in particular: our hatred for Liverpool fans. I see your tweets. I'm like, go on, Daniel, go on, stick the knife into them. I see your celebrations. Oh, I was gassed. I was so happy. I was so proud.
Yeah, man.
That it's good to see that it's a unanimous hatred for Liverpool fans. And just the club in general. Obviously, it is where it is, man. Look, no one loves the Man United. When we were winning, you hated it as well. It comes with the territory. But listen,
it's 100%.
No one hates Spurs though because they're shit and irrelevant. But can't win them all, Kish. Wherever you are in Mexico watching this, I hope it's raining, bro. But listen, Let's no, we were gonna go into the Liverpool stuff, but I want to wait for Kale and Koji because I've got a feeling they've got a lot to say. So, as you are a Chelsea fan, get your questions in. Anything regarding Chelsea, we have got the man in the building. Of course, if I'm not mistaken, obviously you'll be able to correct me. I believe it's been confirmed today that your new owners are coming. Obviously, we knew it a couple of weeks ago, but officially confirmed, so to speak. Just first and foremost, what are your initial thoughts regarding the appointment? Of course, Abramovich, it goes without saying, probably the greatest, in my personal opinion, greatest owner in Premier League history, personally. That's just me. But what do you reckon regarding the new ownership? Obviously, a new era in Chelsea's history. How are you feeling about it?
I'm excited, man. And I think every Chelsea fan should be excited about it because it's funny. I was having this conversation and I was basically breaking something down. And I was basically saying that, look, I don't personally believe Chelsea standards have dropped. Like, a lot of people think that Chelsea standards in the past years, Lampard, Sarri, Conte, that the standards of Chelsea have dropped. I don't think the standards of Chelsea have dropped. The key is the reason why everyone thinks the standard of Chelsea have dropped is because the quality of trophies we were winning weren't the pinnacle. And the reason for that is because better recruitment models, better transfer strategies came along in Liverpool and Man City. And that's not me giving an opinion. I think it's fact that they had better models and now they started winning the trophies. They like Man City took our model, took it to another level, and then Liverpool have an adapted version where they spend money smartly, spend money correctly, and then using the data points and all of that. I can go into all the technicalities, but there's no need for that. So I don't think our standards dropped. I just think we almost ran out of steam in the current model or strategy that we were currently going into. So getting new ownership, it's almost refreshing. Not to say that what Roma was doing was wrong. I just think maybe it was time for a change. Just like everything, all
Yeah,
good things come to an end at some point.
absolutely.
And so like obviously it took obviously we know it's a disaster. We don't condone anything happening in Ukraine and anything like that, but it took something like that for the club to be sold, basically. But yeah, from the football perspective, I think it's exciting, man. I think we're gonna get players that suit Tuchel. Maybe Tuchel will get more time than he might have been afforded under the Roman era as well, which a lot of Chelsea fans are happy about because. I mean, now we've
Yeah,
got a manager that we actually like unanimously. Obviously, you're always going to have agendas and a couple people who have
of
their
course.
feelings. But now we have a manager we like. Now it's time to just back him and get behind him and see what he can do, building something with his players for 2-3 years, and then we really know what we're about. Do you know what I'm saying? So that's just me.
Yeah, I know. What I will say, I haven't seen many Chelsea fans actually hate on Tuchel at all. Actually, I've very rarely see. I know obviously people criticize him here and there, but in general, the general consensus, similar to the way it is with Klopp and Pep, the entire fan base is behind him, which is obviously good to see. That's what you want to see, United fan
Yeah.
base. Just a heads up, Daniel. If I crash, just keep talking because I don't know why it does it for 10 seconds, but ignore it if it happens. Just keep talking. But anyways, coming back to some of the things you said, obviously. All good things come to an end. As I mentioned, Roman for me was the best owner I've ever personally seen. But in terms of behind the scenes, obviously there's quite a lot going on with your club in terms of players potentially
Yeah.
exiting. I mean, there's a couple of people putting Ziyech to United. Obviously, Ten Hag. I personally don't want him, but I don't. I know he's a good player, but I just don't think he's what we need. You're laughing already. But listen, let's talk about some of the players that you think need to come into Chelsea. Because I'm not going to lie to you, I think Chelsea have been underwhelming this season. I've got to be honest. I think I had them in second, if I'm not mistaken. I genuinely had them in second in my predictions. I feel like I had them in second. I
Hmm.
genuinely thought you're going to go for the title. Obviously, there was factors to stop that from happening. The injuries to Chilwell, injuries to Reece James for a large period. Of course, there are obviously factors. Lukaku not hitting the ground running, which was a massive surprise to practically everybody, including myself, even though I'm the biggest Lukaku criticizer out there. Even I was expecting him to actually at least hit 20 goals minimum in all comps or whatever it may be. But what do you think needs to change the most in terms of Chelsea? Keep getting questions in, by the way, for Daniel as well, if you've got any. But what do you think needs to change the most for Chelsea this window? Obviously, you spoke about potentially Tuchel being back now, but what do you think is most integral for him to actually kick on and start to close that gap with the top two?
I think it goes without saying that we have to replace adequately the defenders. Rudiger's obviously leaving. That's well documented. Everyone knows
Someone
that.
said you could have
Christensen
Maguire,
is also-
Maguire show. What do you reckon about that back?
I'm good. I will not be shopping in Man United's team for defenders anyway. But
Oh,
no
damn.
seriously, look. We Christensen's leaving, Rudiger's leaving, Aspilicueta could be leaving. So these are holes that we need to plug, and obviously Rudiger and Aspilicueta more like pressing because they're experienced players, and you want to get that out of the way as soon as possible. So try and bring in players there. Obviously, Kunde. There's a lot of talk on that, and that potentially could be completed. I think Levi Cole can come in and be a huge contributor. One thing that I always use as an example is Mark Guehi lost the championship playoff final last year as well, and then is now almost going to be Crystal Palace captain. That shows how much, what's it called? And he was basically just on loan at Swansea. So for me, that idea that you might not be Prem ready or Prem proven, I don't really subscribe to that. And Levi Cole will ask any Huddersfield fan. He's been one probably, if not the best defender in the championship last year, one of the best defenders in the championship. I think he can come in and give us quality minutes and be quality. Scored a lone goal, yes, in the final, but again, if you watch that full game, he was quality for the 90 minutes, bar the own goal. And really and truly, I can't really fault him for that because he had to clear it, or else the attacker would have had an easy tap in. So there's that. But then also the attack definitely needs addressing. Like everyone said, everyone knows, and everyone's looked at the numbers.
Yeah.
I think personally, it's more about adding to what we have or improving to what we have by addition rather than subtracting. I think if you get someone in like Dembele, who we've been interested in,
I was just about to say, I think Dembele is destined for Chelsea, man.
do you know what I mean? And the thing is, the thing that I want to say is the reason why I stress that point of addition rather than just always subtracting and selling is because you can actually get the best out of other players if you buy players that suit their profiles. I think one of the things that Chelsea have struggled with in terms of their attack is that none of the profiles actually suit each other. They're very, very similar. With Dembele, what you get is a 1v1 defender, someone who attracts attention, someone who can attract 2-3 players. You look at Liverpool, one of the biggest reasons why Liverpool's attack is so potent is because Salah, Mane, and Firmino in his heyday, Jota when he's on form, Luis Diaz since he's come in, on their heyday, they attract 2-3 players. People get distracted by what's going on there. They then
Yeah.
leave those two guys with space and time to do what they want to do. And I think that's what we need. I think Dembele has that ability about him. So I think defense and attack are definitely the two areas for me. I'm not too fussed about the midfield. I think our midfielders just had a poor / injury hit year. I don't think unless we sell any of our midfielders in Jorginho, Rice, or Kante, I do think they still have a bit to give us.
Did you
Especially
say
Kante.
Rice? Did you say Rice? That's why you said Jorginho, Rice, and Kante. Unless you know something I don't.
Oh no, Jorginho, Kovacic, and Kante. Sorry.
I was about to say Daniel's giving it some insight without intentionally giving it.
No, I don't know anything. Please, I don't know anything. But no,
Yeah. We'll keep an eye on that one. You know, you heard it here first.
keep an eye. But I wish Dan was here, man. That would scare him.
Yeah, don't listen. I don't. Oh my god, my fat fingers keep clicking on all the wrong comments. But I think Daniel was so triggered the last show because he was like, "Raw, you man's on to Declan Rice, yeah." But it's true. At the end of the day, he's not gonna want to play flipping Conference League, is it? At the end of the day, he's got that taste. Once you get that taste, it's very difficult. Like for a player, obviously, we can't speak from personal experience, but he knows he's capable of playing at least Europa League minimum, if not Champions League. I think Declan Rice is another player that will end up at Chelsea, not this season, but next season. I think it's got Chelsea written all over it. It makes sense as well. I think Kante probably at that point will be moving on. But I kind of want to touch upon the point that you made with the attackers. Obviously, you watch NBA, so I use an NBA term. Obviously, in terms of, I don't know if this is the right term, but they call it gravity in NBA, don't they? When obviously a player has that capability of attracting a lot of players to them. I think for me personally, people don't see that side of the game and see the importance of that side of the game. Like someone that has that capabilities of, bringing 2-3 players towards them and opening space for other players without even touching the ball inadvertently. And I think that's one thing that I've been a bit disappointed with Lukaku. Obviously, like I said, jokingly, I criticize him a lot. But the one thing I did expect from him was that sense of gravity, that capability of, luring players to him. Because obviously, if he has the capability of getting the ball and turning, he's a threat. It doesn't matter who you are. You get past most players, to be fair to the guy. Like, he's in his sort of strengths when he's running at a player, it's very difficult to stop the guy. So I'm a bit surprised that he hasn't done that enough. But one player who has kind of found his feet to an extent towards the back end of the season, probably know I'm going to say, not Havertz, but Timo Werner. I think on the last maybe 6-7 weeks, I know you guys have been on the beach, so you've not really been asked, but I think Timo Werner has been quite impressive. But what are your thoughts on him as a player? I know he's not had a great time at Chelsea, and I know prior to this sort of vein of form, it was like the writing was 110% on the wall. Has he potentially changed your mind at all? Is there any murmurs that he might end up staying, or are you still looking to replace him? What are your thoughts on him?
Timo Werner, it's a hard one, man. It's a difficult one. Again, you want to give every player the benefit of the doubt, and you want to give every player a chance to prove that they're capable of playing at the top level. I think Werner's a good player. I just think he's in the wrong situation. I don't think that in the way that we play, Werner's necessarily the right person. That's not to say that he might not be useful for someone else, but I just don't think in the way that we play, he's useful. Just because in the front three that Tuchel utilizes, you need nippy players who are able to play very good combination football. Yes, like you mentioned, Werner had a good vein of form, but two performances come to mind. I think he was outstanding in the second leg against Real Madrid, probably his best game for Chelsea.
Yeah.
And then he played really well against Southampton, who he has always played well against since he's come to the Premier League. Southampton have been kind of his team that he's been able to show up for. But apart from that, there's not really been outstanding performances, I would say. And there have been the odd missed chances, even though the opportunities have been less, the chances have still been missed. So I don't know. It's hard. For me personally, like from as a fan, I just think there are better ways to go for us than Timo Werner. So yeah, that's how I think in it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's too late, to be quite frank and honest with you. I mean, if you want to be successful in terms of where you should be, in my personal opinion, which is knocking on that door of the top two, if not potentially overtaking one of them teams, you need to be ruthless. And that's one thing I do respect about Abramovich. He's always been ruthless in his tenure. And it'll be interesting to see how this new ownership plays it. Because obviously with Tuchel, first and foremost, you kind of alluded to it. I actually thought Tuchel would be sacked this season, which is a mad statement. But literally, the only reason I made that ridiculous statement was because of Abramovich, because I thought he's just that trigger happy. And if he doesn't win a trophy, which of course we've now seen that you won two, obviously, which was the Club World Cup, I believe, and the Super Cup, if I'm not mistaken. But like a trophy in his eyes, which probably the Premier League or the Champions League, so to speak, he'd probably be on the chopping block. But luckily, in that sense, you've got new ownership, so I'm really intrigued to see how that fares. But listen, we're going to move away from Chelsea. I know a lot of people are asking about Manchester United, and to be quite frank with you, I've not really spoken about Man United, so it's going to be a great opportunity to do that right now because Kale is also in the building. You'll love to see it, Kale. Welcome. Obviously, Arsenal, our Arsenal fan is here. We will be talking about all things Arsenal and, the great news that Nketiah is signing a new contract. So I'm sure Kale's over the moon regarding that matter. But before we speak about that fantastic news, I want to get the guys' thoughts on Ralph Rangnick because obviously we've got WhatsApp group. And Daniel was absolutely pissing himself when he seen the news, and rightfully so because it's quite hilarious if you're not a Man United fan, and I understand it's madness. But listen, I want to get your guys' thoughts before I give my thoughts. Daniel, we'll start with you because obviously I kind of know you've got some opinion on this. What's going on at Man United?
I feel like the thing is, I'll leave the ban. I'll leave.
Oh shit!
Am I still? Oh, I think Usman's lagging. Is it Usman? Or is it me?
It is Usman. Yeah.
Okay, now. Yeah, so guys, we'll take over, but
okay,
you see the Ralph thing. I think what Usman didn't understand. Usman, can you hear us now?
Yeah, sorry, it doesn't for like 5 seconds. It comes back. Go on, Karen.
Cool. Usman, I'll leave Cahill to do the bantering, but the reason why I was laughing about it is because I said it. I said it halfway through the season. I said that I'm not really sure what's going on with Man United in regards to the consultancy thing because he now said that he's going to take the job with Austria and also be a consultant. Man United fans then told me that he's going to be in once a month or something like that. So I was like, cool, innit? Like, you lot know more about your club than I will ever know, innit? I'm only watching from afar. But from what I do know, and in terms of office and structure, I'm lucky enough to be inside and know what goes on in regards to that. Man, like, it was weird for me for them to have someone who's going to be a consultant, someone who wants to instill a culture into the club to only be working a couple of days. You cannot instill culture, a vibe, whatever
Identity.
word you want to call it. Identity. That's it. All those words, all those great connotations of culture, identity, work in a couple of days. You can't do that. A football club isn't hybrid, remote. When you talk about essential workers, the guys who instill the culture and the structure in the football club are essential workers. And Ralph Rangnick was supposed to be an essential worker. He was brought in to change the DNA and the culture of Man United and make that better. So that's why I was nervous at that. When Ten Hag then came in, and he said in his interview, and I sent that into the chat, and Usman berated me, and I allowed him to. He
a man. So no, give it a couple of days. He'll be
you said I was causing trouble. I wasn't causing trouble.
Yeah, you're causing rifts in the dressing room. I didn't like it, man.
One thing I do more than one thing I say that I do more than anyone, is that I just love to read into quotes and then watch body language. When Ten Hag answered that question, I was not convinced that he wanted someone else making decisions with him. I just wasn't convinced. And at the end of the day, what it comes down to is that when a manager like Ten Hag, who likes to have everything running by him, he wants to make the decisions, have the final say on stuff like this, says that he normally does things by himself. I'm not really sure of the situation with Ralph, but I'm sure the club will find a resolution and da-di-da-di-da. That's not good reading. And then for him to then say, I don't buy that he's leaving because he wants to focus solely on Austria. Come on, man. He probably had a conversation with Ten
that's
Hag.
waffle. That's definitely waffle.
Yeah, man. He probably had a conversation with Ten Hag and the club. And then they said, look, it's best if you just move on. It's embarrassing. And now you can call into question the whole appointment in the first place as him as an interim, because the main thing that I was told, again, by United fans, and it's not for United fans to be critical of me, it's United fans to be critical of your club and the Glazers, is that if a better manager than Oli came in, you would finish in the top four. Let's not forget that when Ralph came in, you had every right. You had top four in your hands at that time. And then you weren't able to get there. Whether or not it's about the players not buying into Ralph's football or whatever, whether you want to blame the players, whether you want to blame Ralph, you have to call into question the whole appointment, because now he's not even going to be part of the structure going forward. And Man United right now, it's a pantomime, it's a movie, man. Just making decisions on the fly, and it's not good, man. It's not good reading.
Yeah, I think you've made some fantastic points as always. But like in terms of the last comment, the pantomime and Amazon, oh my god, you missed a trick, lads. But look, for me personally, I think the whole thing, firstly, it highlights the issues with the club as a whole. The Glazers is always going to be the issue. And it's one of the reasons that Man United fans have been so vocal recently and in general in our recent history, so to speak, regarding the removal of the Glazers. I mean, for me, it's absolutely baffling that you've got a manager right there in Conte that was available. You've said no to him to get in Ralph Rangnick because you wanted him to have this 2-year consultancy role, and then you sack him when his consultancy role is about to start. Whether Ten Hag wasn't happy with him, which I personally think is that genuine truth, I think it was because of Ten Hag he's been sacked, to be quite frank honest with you. It's still, for me, it just leaves a bad taste in my mouth, because actually I've grown to actually really like Ralph, because I actually think he's one of the few people in recent years that actually has the best interest of the club at heart. Like he wants to improve the club. The way he speaks is of someone that has the right intentions, and we've not had that for a long period. We've had people that only really care about selling shirts, social media clicks, etc., etc. And Ralph doesn't really care about those things. He's come in, he's rocked the boat. Granted, he's been an absolutely shocking interim. As you said, top four was well within our grasp, and I think we should have got top four. And funnily enough, I think if we kept Ollie, we would have got top four. But for me personally, I'm happy that things have panned out the way they have. Obviously, it's been a car crash, no doubt, and it's been painful. But, short-term pain for hopefully long-term gain is my personal preference. But regarding the Ralph Rangnick thing, it just further exposes the board, man. They just haven't got a clue. How do you hire someone for 6 months who's not got the credentials to actually be successful in that job, and where his credentials lie and where his success lies, you sack him prior to him even starting that role? So for me, it's absolutely baffling. It's very disappointing that Ten Hag couldn't work with him, because I actually really liked the players that Ralph was mentioning, the likes of the Nkukas of the world. He was kind of looking at these more. I mean, Nkuka's not really a gem, is he? But in general, he was looking more left field rather than what we normally do, which, if Ed Woodward was, he would be saying Dybala, basically, which is the most standard Man United thing ever. But Kale, what have you made of the whole situation? Obviously, regarding Manchester United, the pantomime that continues. Where do you sit on the whole thing?
I mean, for you to say that you don't understand how Manchester United can hire someone who doesn't have the credentials to run the club, and then have Ole in the position of manager for, was it 3 years? It makes perfect sense that they would hire a person like that. He was brought in for a consultancy role, mostly for those 2 years, and he's gone. He's gone. And I honestly believe that he probably would have been the man, because he's been the man in every club in that position that he's had, to take these clubs forward, because he knows the market, he knows what clubs need. And I think he knew what Manchester United mean. I think the funny thing about him was that in those, I think it was 6 months that he's been at the club, he's insulted the board, he's insulted the players.
He's insulted everyone. I love it.
Everyone. He's had absolutely free reign to do whatever.
He's a legend, man. What a guy.
Wanted, and he got paid to do it. That's hilarious. That's a dream job. Just to be as as abrasive and assertive as you want, just talking shit about every single thing, and getting paid to do it. What a job he's done there. But this is where I think the clash came in. As soon as Ten Hag came in, I don't think their styles suit in terms of footballing vision. If you see the type of manager that's come out of the Ragnick camp, Tuchel's, the Klopps, very counter-attacking based, very press oriented, and Ten Hag obviously favors possession, considering that he was the Ajax manager for I think, how long has he been there? About 3 years now. So styles are clashing. AJ Styles, I'm going to put a wrestling in there. The styles are clashing. So on that base, I think based alone, it wasn't going to work out from the beginning. And who just sacked the guy that you put your faith in, gave in? I don't know how long he's got his contract for. Maybe 3 years is his contract.
Yeah, I think it's 3 years.
There you go. 3-year manager who you put everything behind, or the guy you hired as an interim coach didn't work out. Been insulting you for the past 6 months, and is on a consultancy role that's been going to essentially work from home, and his home is in Austria now. So it makes perfect sense that they're going to back Ten Hag. So I don't know where Manchester go from here. To be honest with you, I feel like Ten Hag has a harder job now, considering that the man with experience in building teams has left, essentially. Because, like I said on the previous podcast, Ten Hag, this is very new territory for Ten Hag. He's obviously had a wonderful backing of Ajax and their academy, and their academy is, as we all know, is absolutely world class. So to go from that position where you have this influx of players coming through the ranks, and world class players that gone on to achieve amazing things. I mean, Champions League with Hakim Ziyech and so on and so forth. To going to Manchester United, where now it's your job to build from the ground up. It's not an impossible job, because I think the spine at Manchester United is absolutely fantastic. Varane, De Gea, even though I think you're going to get a new goalkeeper, Sancho. Who's your midfielder? There's a midfielder I'm thinking of.
Yeah, we haven't got one.
Bruno Fernandes, that's the guy I was thinking of. He had a bad season, but I still think he's still got there's a decent player still in there.
Yeah.
So I think you got and CR7. So I think you got it's by no means is it an impossible job for him, but I think it's a lot harder than a lot of fans may make it out to be.
Yeah, no, I think what you're saying in terms of Ten Hag's role and his job. I mean, for me personally, it's just going to be an absolute miracle if I ever see us competing again with the situation with the board and just their lack of any understanding of how a football club should be run. So we'll have to wait and see how the window pans out. The players we are linked with, I'm happy with them. Jurriën Timber and De Jong would be brilliant additions to the team. Obviously, it depends on what happens with the board. Of course, we will keep you up to date.
Well.
What was that, sorry?
It's players he knows as well.
Yeah, exactly. So, he's very familiar with them players. Hopefully he can bring De Ligt as well. That would be quality, not that I see that happening. Or do I see De Jong happening? But listen, let's move on from Manchester United to the actual topic of today's conversation. As the title suggests, have Liverpool's season... That doesn't make sense. Has Liverpool's season been a failure? That is the question on today's lips. I do believe Daniel might have to leave. I'll try to come back, guys. 1 sec. That is fine. As always, keep slapping the like, get your comments in, get your questions in, subscribe to the channel, all that good stuff. I don't know why I keep lagging. I've been trying to fix this for ages, but it's not happening. But listen, we've got Kale here to come through. I'm assuming Kojo's can't make it, I would imagine.
No, he said he's gonna make something. He'll join later. All
right, well, hopefully he can make it for this segment. Anyways, let's talk about Liverpool Football Club. If you know, you know. Don Hussam is a very loved Liverpool fan within the community, and he messaged me on Friday. And said, Usman, listen, get your vocals ready for Monday night. I said, why? What's happening? He goes, you made a bet with him that I'll sing You Never Walk Alone if they finish above us and all that good stuff, which obviously quite clearly they did by quite a big margin.
Yeah,
Just, it wasn't that close, shall we say. But lo and behold, he also said if Liverpool don't win the Champions League, he won't turn up. He was confident they're going to win the Champions League. I thought they'd win the Champions League. But guess what? Karim, Hala Madrid, you love to see it. No Liverpool fan inside. I ain't singing shit, bro. Because guess what? You bottled 2 trophies in a flipping week. And on top of that, to add insult to injury, your players were on a parade the day after. You absolute disgrace. And your fans are pretending that you're loving life because you've celebrated a parade. Oh, look at our fans. Look how fantastic they are. Shut up. Stop lying to yourself. We know you're in tears behind those fake ass masks. We know you're flipping suffering because not only did you lose the Premier League, but you lost the Champions League when you were the favourites. It's absolutely beautiful. And on top of that, who else than Mr. Sleeper himself, Trent Alexander-Arnold? Oh, you love to see it. Falling asleep at the back post when it mattered. Ah, it's just beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Thiago, shocker, got hooked off. Absolute disaster class. Robinson, just chatting shit all the time. Absolute wet wipe of a player. Shit performance. Van Dijk, fair enough, but what was he trying to do for the goal? Trying to recreate Maguire's famous Southampton efforts. But listen, it's all about Mohamed Salah. It's all about Mohamed Salah. 1 goal in 13 cup finals. They told me that this man should win the Ballon d'Or. They told me this man's better than prime Ronaldo. Shut up. Shut up. 1 goal in 13 finals, and it's a penalty. And what we learned from last season, penalties don't count as goals because Bruno's didn't. So you guarantee that Salah didn't as well. Listen, he's been an absolute disgrace. Mane is leaving. Diaz got hooked off as well. He thought he's fucking prime Neymar. He was shit as well. He got hooked off. But listen, Kale, Liverpool, have they failed or have they been successful? What are your thoughts?
I'm going to say this. I'm going to say that I'm not going to be as excited as you are. I mean, obviously, the Manchester United fan. But yes and no. To end the season on 92 points, Champions League final, 2 domestic trophies. At the start of the season, any team, especially us, would have absolutely lapped that up.
I would have ripped someone's armor for that.
Exactly. So I feel like the standards that we hold for Liverpool, because of a certain fan, because of their fan base and a certain group within their fan base being so vocal and being so loud and being so abrasive, claiming that this is the best team that the Premier League history, best team in world.
Don't forget, Henry's playing left wing for Firmino.
There you go.
Just so about had somehow get Henry in, but Firmino has to stay in the middle.
There you go. Exactly. There you go. So those are the comments that certainly rile up a whole bunch of people. I don't think they've failed as a whole. I think they've had a fantastic season by any standard of scratch the imagination. But this past week must be absolutely horrendous, man. I would be absolutely heartbroken to lose the Premier League in the manner they did, where City scored 3 goals in 5 minutes to clinch the title. Heartbreaking. Especially if you saw what Mohamed Salah did after scoring the celebration. He thought he had his moment. He thought he had his Aguero moment.
So he's Aguero, innit?
There we go. He thought he had that moment, and to see a man in the crowd point up 3-2, and his face just absolutely dropped. Absolutely devastating. To then go into the final on the weekend, where Thiago, your midfielder, isn't 100% fit. Salah, boy. I mean, he's been very, very much selfish since AFCON.
Here he is, just so cute.
Look at this guy.
Look at that. Code, I've been waiting. I've been delaying badge until you're around, bro. Don't worry, bro. Go on, Kale. Carry on. I'm loving every second of this. I'm enjoying it.
Salah, the epitome of selfishness on that in that final. Yes, he had a decent chance and Courtois pulled off a magnificent save.
Yeah.
But every time that man touched the ball, I'm thinking, you're shooting here. And he needs to learn. And he's a big man. He's a big player. He needs to know when to pass the ball. Mane, not impactful. Luis Diaz, I was in that space on the weekend where Don where Hussam was getting absolutely ripped by a whole bunch of people. It wasn't pretty. I didn't realize he had so much hatred amongst the Twitter spaces, but boy, he does. Luis Diaz, those fans, man, claiming he was better than Neymar.
Wait, what in that space?
Not in that space. No, not in that space. There were fans previously claiming that.
What
Luis
did you
Diaz,
just say? Sorry.
Yeah,
the disrespect Neymar is absolutely.
I'm gonna say it so loud that my cousin hears it right now. People were saying that Luis Diaz is better than Neymar.
Yeah. It's messy.
Bro,
what? It's messy. It's very messy.
Because what? Yeah. What is this, man? I hate football fans, me, man.
Hey, Josh, just keep me. He came right there. You can see his Afro.
Yes,
Sir.
G.
Wait,
yes,
Luis Diaz better than Neymar?
No. Kale said that, not me. Kale said it.
No, I'm repeating it. I don't
Hey, Kale. Hey,
Kale, this one, yeah.
Liverpool fans on Twitter.
Oh, that makes perfect sense. This is, you know how they are. This is, it makes sense.
Facts, man. They've lost their mind, Kale, man.
They are wrong. They are wrong.
They're wrong. 100% wrong. It is a lot of sensationalism, and boy, but that final, they absolutely tried their hardest. But
the hardest wasn't enough.
As the Coldplay song goes, if you try your best and you don't succeed, when you get what you want but not what you need, man.
Oh yes.
In reverse.
Coldplay.
In reverse.
Oh my God. Listen, this comment here from Big Round. Come on, lads. Luis Diaz and Neymar are not Pepe. He's not wrong. He's not wrong. But listen, Coach, I've got an important question for you.
Yes.
Did Mohamed Salah get revenge? That is the question.
This is my answer.
Yes. Oh, beautiful. Did he settle the score? Did he settle the score? Did he get revenge, Coach? What are your thoughts? Did you think he settled the score?
Nah, he got as much revenge as Tottenham did on Arsenal when they lose 5-2 every single season. Listen, he talked a big game for someone that Ramos still owns his arm. Do you know what I'm saying? Ramos
that armbar, man, goated.
Goated. Listen, Ramos wasn't even there, and he was still having nightmares about Sergio. So it's one of them ones where I'm sure he was about to shoot, and then Mendy went to him and said, "Yo, Sergio," and he shot, and what saved it. So, revenge, not so sweet for him. I loved it. He was it Kel? Was that what Kel was saying about someone being selfish? Was that Salah?
Yeah. What a shock! Yeah. You knew it was.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, it's one of the ones where I know Salah wants to be the guy. He comes across as a humble character, and I think he is. He's a nice guy. But when it comes to being on the football pitch, he wants to be the guy. He wants to be known as the man. He said in an interview on BT Sport, "I think of myself as the best in the world." So do it. Do it. And did you do it? The answer is no, man. The team needed you against Tottenham. Bottled the points. Lost you the title. Where were you? Couldn't see you. Champions League final. Your team needed you. Vinicius did his job. Where were you? You were less visible than John Cena. Me personally,
oh God,
I'm living life, man. This is a wonderful day. I've had a wonderful weekend. I lost my voice on Saturday, but I got my voice back on Sunday morning. I'm singing Real Madrid through this house. I'm telling you, Usman, the 6 months I spent in Spain were perfect just to learn the lyrics to Real Madrid y nada más.
Oh, I love them. I love Madrid. Whatever they need, man. I'm their ride or die fan, man. They did it twice, man. Not one time, 2 times. Violate them score.
They actually are. Shit, they have. Yeah.
Hold on. Don't forget.
They did it probably more times.
2 seasons ago when they knocked them out of the Champions League quarterfinals.
Was that not last season? Like,
was it last season when Chelsea won the thing. Yes, it was last season. Yeah,
they knocked them out of quarters. Listen, they got your number, bro. The disrespect people were giving to Madrid prior to the game, but listen, for me personally, right. The initial question before you came was, has it been a successful season for Liverpool? And Kill kind of said yes and no. To be honest, I normally wouldn't accept that, but I actually understand what you're saying, to be honest, regarding your sentiment. But for me, as a Man United fan, obviously, if I was to have their season, of course it'd be a success for us. But I'm looking at when we were I'm looking at when we was back in 2008, 2009, when we were under Fergie. Would I class this as a successful season? Would I have a parade for this? Would I lap this up like I was like a bad man? I've done something amazing. Absolutely not. And that's not me being bitter. Listen, I would die for their season as it currently stands.
Oh, he's gone again.
It's
That's
funny.
twice he's done that, man. It's free midfield again. We're just taking it over.
As I was saying before, I was very rudely cut off. Listen, I would have died for the season as a Man United fan, but listen, given their team, they're the greatest, right back of all time, better than Carrefour, Daniel, etc. The greatest goalkeeper in the world, better than Peter Cech, better than Schmeichel, anyone you can name. The greatest centre back that we've ever seen, better than all the greats. Right winger who's apparently the best in the world. Sadio Mane is best striker in the world. The list is endless. Apparently they got everything. They got the greatest manager. He gives the best hugs, best, fist pumps, yada yada yada. All chat. You just got a flipping poxy League Cup, Mickey Mouse trophy that you won on pens and VAR saved your ass. Lukaku one side, and you've got an FA Cup. But fair enough, it's a prestigious trophy. But again, you won it on penalties. So no, it's not a successful season. To be quite frankly honest with you. But listen, for me personally, it's a successful season because you bottle them both in 1 week. You're allowed to say, "Come on, Madrid!" Oh, it's beautiful. All the Liverpool fans back in your caves where you belong. You love to see it. No one's in my mentions. Listen, Liverpool fans trying to trigger me about, you ever won a trophy. I don't give a shit, mate. Because our time will come, but your time is coming to an end. 7 years. 1 league. That's it. You got 1 league to show for it for the greatest Liverpool team in Premier League history. You've only got 1 league to show for it. You absolute bottle jobs. 1 Champions League, 1 league, 1 League Cup, 1 FA Cup. What an achievement, mate. What an achievement. Klopp ain't better than Wenger, by the way, so shut the fuck up. Stay in your lane. He ain't even surpassed Wenger's achievements, so don't try to come for the GOAT. Don't try to even come for Jose. Don't even try to come for Pep. You're even better than Conte. So relax when it comes to Premier League. Conte done a madness wherever he's been. No, I ain't stopping. I don't care. Conte done a madness with the less where he's been. All right. So listen, Conte only needed 1 season come in, won the league, dipped. Is what it is. Klopp 7 years. Shut up, man. Absolutely pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. And listen, Virgil van Delegate, listen, Maguire wants his skills back, you fucking useless prick. Relax. You ain't the greatest of all time. You ain't the greatest Dutch centre-back in the Premier League history, let alone all time. So just chill the fuck out. You put respect on Jaap Stam's name, all right? Stop chatting shit to me, Virgil van Dijk. Man's 31 and he's never played a fucking World Cup game. Don't chat to me. I've got the same amount of World Cup appearances as Van Dijk. Relax your batty. You ain't shit. Calm yourself down. Listen, calm yourself down. Just chill out, bro. You ain't shit. You won 1 league title, man, in 32 years, and you lot are coming at me like you guys are running the thing. Man City, I've got you guys by the balls. By the absolute balls. And anyone who says to me, you're twerking for Man City, shut up. Because when you lot were shit 7 years ago, you were twerking for everybody that Man United were going head-to-head for the league title. So stop your ass. Get Virgil van Dijk his first career cap in the fucking World Cup and then come chat to me. Because at the moment, he can't fucking chat to me because we've got the same amount of appearances, big man. So relax. You ain't shit. Daps is in the chat. Daps fucking tell this Liverpool squad. You fucking pulled their pants down, won the bloody league. They need to stay in the lane, bro. They fucking nothing. 1 league title. Man City got 4 in 5 years, mate. Listen, since Klopp has been here, Man City have got 4. Since Klopp has been here, Klopp has seen Man City pull his pants down. Year in, year out. He won 1 title when I was fighting for my life and hiding from COVID in a fucking cave. Relax. It don't even count. And as Daps was saying, you Man City, Enrique's coming. Bro, you got ex-Liverpool players tweeting about a parade. How fucking embarrassing. I wouldn't show my face at a parade. You just lost the final and you got Trent, who's just had an absolute mare in the final the day before. Singing fucking one kiss is all it takes. Fucking hell. One goal is all it takes for you shitters to go back to where you belong. In our shadow. Relax. You ain't shit. You ain't shit. Ain't shit. And man is leaving. Man has said, fuck this shit, man. I've had enough. These mans are having a parade for an FA Cup and a fucking Mickey Mouse trophy. You might as well have an FA Cup. You might as well have a parade for a flipping Community Shield at this point. Listen, they're having a parade. Liverpool Football Club, the greatest team you've ever seen, is having a parade the day after they've lost the Champions League. Make that one up. Because I can tell you one thing, Man United would never do that. Never do that. And also, just to put respect on Man City's name as well, by the way, you lot were saying, you know, oh, we're going to win the Champions League. It's harder to win the fucking Champions League. Guess what? Yeah, the easiest running that I've ever seen, and you still couldn't win it. They beat bloody PSG, Chelsea, Man City, and fucking Liverpool, the greatest league in the world. Well, they pulled your pants down and slapped you. Fucking shut up, man. Oh, you love to see it. Anyways, Kale, thoughts on Man leaving that absolute shit show of a club. What do you reckon, mate?
I'm not over your Van Dijk comment, to be honest with you. I'm still frozen.
Listen, it's facts. I'm just talking facts. He's not made a World Cup appearance, and apparently he's the greatest centre back we've ever seen.
Mad. I didn't even realize that.
Bro, make a World Cup appearance, then chat to me about Yap Sam, bro. Relax your batty, man. You're fucking dead trim.
Relax your batty, hey, husband. Hey, I love you, man.
Bro, Asamoah Gyan's got more bloody flipping World Cup appearances this geezer, man. What the hell's he on about, man? Some brother from Iran that works at a kebab shop has got more World Cup appearances than Van Dijk.
Hey, shout out Chris Wood.
There you go. Chris Wood's got more appearances. You love to see it.
Oh,
Camila Cabello's probably got more appearances at World Cup than this geezer, man. Relax. Speaking of Camila Cabello, she had a better performance than Salah, so fair play to her. At least she turned up. Or like half that Liverpool team. Thiago Alcantara, by the way. Well done, mate. Great performance. Thumbs up. When you come across some real bad man, know what? There's a saying, right? You think you're a bad man until real bad man walk up or turn up. When Modric and Cruz were in the building, where the fuck were you, brother? Where were you? Man was in his shadow. Modric, they thought they can press Modric. Shut up. You can't press Modric. That's what you call a bad man. These ones told me that Thiago's better than Cesc Fabregas. Shut up, man. Don't mention him in the same breath again, you waste, man.
They said that. No shame.
Don't mention them in the same breath again, please. I don't want to hear it. And fucking Luis Diaz is better than Neymar. Shut up, man. He can't even fucking lace his fucking boots. Luis Diaz. Fucking greatest January signing of all time, apparently. Everyone Vidic didn't play, apparently, in Premier League. Fucking shut up, man. You love to see it. Anyways, Liverpool fans, one thing I will say is, you know, just don't buy tickets from dodgy bus companies because it won't end well. So just don't do that. Richarlison. Just do better. Like, a part of me felt sorry for him, but at the same time, I couldn't give two shits, to be quite honest with you. I couldn't give two shits. Obviously, the ones that get pepper sprayed.
I feel sorry for those guys, man. Those people were pricks.
Yeah, no, they are pricks. There's no denying that. I'm not saying it's okay. But the fans I really feel sorry for is the ones that got pepper sprayed. Obviously, jokes aside, I feel sorry for them. Not only did they have a traumatic experience, but they had another one when they got into the stadium eventually, when their team got their passports. Yo, how did I forget? How did I forget about this? Yo, Mama thought he's fucking charisma. Yo, where's this comment gone? Naby Keita thought he's charisma. Naby Keita, bro, you ain't got that sauce, that charisma. £65 million. British pounds, free on the edge of the box. His name in lights. Man thought he's charisma. Man thought he's Modric. Stay in your lane, brother. You're not them guys. Just take a touch, bro. It's okay. We're not going to judge you, man. We're not going to judge you. Relax, man. Oh God, honest to God. Let's see what Daps in. The game was lost for both us and Liverpool against Madrid. Down to the right back for us, it was Walker. Obviously, Walker was a big injury, and for Liverpool, it was Trent staying on. Oh, Trent. Oh God. Listen, can we just talk about Trent defending, because he's not better than Reece James. Like, I'm not having it. The guy, when it matters, he's asleep again. And Liverpool fans, I've heard him. Robertson's to blame. He's pressing Modric. Yeah. Well done. But guess what? Do your job at the back post. You know that thing that you get paid a lot of money for? Just do your job, bro, and watch the run of Vinicius Jr. That's all you got to do. That's it. That's it. But you didn't do it. But it's all right. 24 hours later, you're celebrating the FA Cup. So, you know, fair play to you. And fair play to the Liverpool fans. They've come out in their drones. What a club. Who said that, man?
We can't say that. We can't say it. We can't say it.
I was about to repeat it, man. Oh, that's an absolute banger. Sadly, we can't say that, but that is pretty much bad. But listen, let's talk about Sadio Mane. I think I've said enough on Liverpool for all of us. Sadio Mane is leaving, which now does mean it's the end of an era. I don't know if I mentioned this or not, but one trophy for that era in the league. Well done. I don't know if I mentioned it, but yeah, Kojo, what do you reckon? Mane is leaving. He's finally going to a proper club. What do you think? Oh God!
Osman came for smoke today.
I mean, Hossam's not here. Hossam said he's going to turn up. What happened? Just like Trent, he's gone missing.
Look, yeah, Mane's had a good time at Liverpool, innit? But as an individual, you said it, one Champions League, one Premier League in 6 years or 7 years, how long have he been there? It's all right. It's all right. But yeah, he said he needs a new challenge. He's trying to leave, what, 3 times now?
Hold
so
on.
Obviously, he's been fed up.
Yo, this comment's cracking me up. They took us speedboat to watch their team. Yo, no, it's actual quality. Oh shit, man! I actually love Liverpool so much, but thank you for making my read. Their fans genuinely thought they're the greatest. They thought they're like better than Invincibles. Oh God! They actually put Henry on left wing to make sure they accommodate Firmino.
Yeah, it's one of the worst things I've ever seen. One of the worst. You know about that, right? When they're making Premier Team of the season or team.
Oh my God! Absolute disgrace. Their fans are an absolute disgrace.
And Firmino here, and they put Henry on the left because he has to accommodate Firmino.
Dabs, tell him, man. Tell him, Dabs. Tell him. His fucking company's better than him. I don't give a shit. I'll take company over Virgil van Dijk. I don't care what anyone tells me. At least company's done it for more than 2 years. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, and he's got a couple of World Cup appearances to his name. So, you know, I mean, he's been there, done that, got the T-shirt. Van Dijk, he hadn't even got the T-shirt, bro. He hadn't even been on the plane. Like, do you know what I mean? The man's been watching it from home, just like me. He's a spectator. Fair play to the guy. I think Holland are finally qualified, no?
I don't even know.
No, I don't think so.
Let me find out.
I feel like they must have qualified, because if they haven't, it's peak for you, bro. Oh, God, it's peak for you. But listen, while he's finding that, I'm just going to give my thoughts on Sadio Mane. Listen, jokes aside, Mane is probably the most disrespected Liverpool player in the whole team. I'm just going to throw it out there.
100%.
I don't understand that this guy, right, and this is coming from me. Obviously, you've heard what I've got to say on Liverpool, but generally, I got love for him. I think he's a very humble guy. He does a lot for his charity in Africa. He's put Senegal on the map. You know, if I'm not mistaken, that was their first AFCON. I feel like it was.
I feel like it was. Maybe.
Either way, he took his team to AFCON. I don't know. Was that the first AFCON, Kojo, Senegal? I feel like it was. Do you know? Was that Senegal's first AFCON win? I feel like it was.
It's his first one in like. Oh no, it is actually the first ever. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, so look, he's done a lot for his country. He's done a lot in general in terms of football. No mention of him in the Ballon d'Or, but Salah's in there though. Salah's in there, you know, it's standard. But in general, for me, I don't know how they're going to replace him. Like into that Pep bloody fucking gif or whatever the hell you call it these days. You know, we cannot replace him. That one. I just think it's going to be difficult for them. Hopefully for them, they're looking at like someone like Lukaku.
I said Lukaku.
I think Lukaku would be phenomenal for them. Just take him.
There are reports that they're looking for a certain Tottenham number 9.
Oh, Harry Kane. Yes, of course. I did see that. No, I would love to see Kish's tears, I must say. But at the same time, I don't think it's worth the tears because, like I said, Spurs are irrelevant. They're not going to win anything. They're just there and really to make up numbers. So it doesn't matter if Kane stays there. He's not doing any damage to anyone. He's not hurting anyone. He's just chilling, doing his, living his best life. What do we reckon, Manny? I mean, Scale, what do you reckon about Manny?
That's the piggyback off your point. Him being the most disrespected player at Liverpool. 110%, especially at the beginning of this season. There were a lot of Liverpool fans that were telling us that they need to ship him out, that he's absolutely finished, with Sam being one of them. That he hasn't got what it takes to be at Manchester United, Liverpool anymore. And boy, look at the form from January on. Compare and contrast Mohamed Salah and Sadio Mane after AFCON. Apples and oranges. Sadio Mane has been absolutely on form for Liverpool. Been their best player in this Champions League run, in this Premier League run, especially when it mattered, getting them over the line. Mohamed Salah. Clutch goals. Mohamed Salah's gone absolutely missing since AFCON. You can put it down to the whole contract situation. Put it down to playing X amount of games, being disappointed.
I think that's bullshit, though, Kelly. If you're the greatest player to ever live, then you've got to put those things aside, innit?
Maybe, probably. I actually agree, 100%. You got to prove week in, week out why you deserve that 400k that you're demanding. But man, Mane going to Bayern Munich for £30 million as well. That is a shocker because they should be demanding at 60 to 70 million for this man, regardless of age. He's 29 as well, so he's still in his peak years. He's going to do absolute bits for Bayern Munich, and maybe he might get him a Champions League as well.
Yeah, that would be a madness, especially if it's against Liverpool and these lads in front of the Liverpool fans like Adebayo. That would be quality. I'd love that a lot, to be fair. Koji, what do you reckon in terms of replacements? Then, just before we move on from Liverpool, because I don't think we've spoken about them enough. In terms of replacements, what do you reckon? Who do you think is realistic? Because apparently they want Kane or Darwin Núñez. That's what I've seen. Obviously, there might be someone else that they're throwing in there.
I don't know, man, because I thought at first, my initial thought was the idea of buying Luis Diaz was that eventually Salah and Mane were going to leave anyway, so that was the plan to replace. But if they're talking about looking at other targets to replace Mane, then Diaz, I don't know what his role is supposed to be in the team now. Because I thought he was going to take that number 1 spot, unless they really want to give like really strong competition. Now, Conte is really getting players that he wants. They started with Perisic, free transfer, 2 years.
Yeah.
And they're in the Champions League. So that's a competition that Kane wants to play in. He's got a manager that he likes. So if Liverpool want to sign him, we're not talking about 150 that City did. They're talking about 200 now.
Really?
That's what I think. Because, bruv, last year you can argue, okay, you finished in the Europa League spot. No, Europa Conference spot. So you're miles away from the Champions League. You brought in Nuno Espirito Santo after sacking Jose Mourinho and making Ryan Mason your manager. You got nothing. You got nothing to keep that there. They can definitely take Dan James. You got nothing to keep Kane there, but now he's got a manager he likes. They brought in Kulusevski, they brought in Bentancur, they brought in Romero. They've added Perisic, like I said earlier. And he's enjoying his football game with Son and now Kulusevski as well on the other side, not Bergwijn or Mora. So now you can say to you, well, if you want the guy that badly, you're gonna pay us top dollar, the money that we want, and it's not gonna be 150 this time. It's gonna be 200. That's why I think he even will say, and he's well within his rights to say so. And on top of that, you're a league rival. You're trying for the title every year. Well, the last 5 years anyway. So why am I gonna give you Harry Kane? You know what I'm saying? So I don't know who they're going for. This guy, Jurgen Klopp, his identification of players sometimes is scary. Because Liverpool fans, no matter how much they love Salah, they have to always remember that their manager wanted Julian Brandt first. And if they had got Julian Brandt instead of Mo Salah, they wouldn't be anywhere near the well right now. So I don't know who they're going to get. Me personally, I don't 100% trust Klopp to get the right player
He's not getting Darwin Nunes, by the way. No way, that's not happening. And
I don't think he'd suit them though. Like, would he suit them at all? I don't think he would.
He might try and change up. I think what's the number
You'd have
9?
to change. You'd have to change the way they play quite a bit to accommodate him.
Yeah, I think he might try and answer what City have done with Haaland, but really and truly, there's no one that is sort of like as promising on that level as Haaland that you can sign. Not Darwin Nunes. I'm a big fan of his, but he's not on Haaland's level. That's the truth. So I don't know. Me personally, I think you should stick with just putting Diaz in that team. But hey, it ain't my club, innit? So fuck him.
You're bare harsh on Liverpool, man. I swear to God.
Say swear, me.
Jeff saying, I remember when they said Curtis Jones was generational. I remember when they said Trent could defend, but obviously that cost him a Champions League, so I love that. Okay, let's move on to your team, Eddie Nketiah. I feel like we mentioned this last week. Did we mention it last week?
That he signed a new contract. I don't think he was signing a new contract last week.
All right, well, let's talk about it now then. Eddie Nketiah and Jesus are the two players that are potentially going to spearhead the new reformed Arsenal under the legend that is Mikel Arteta. But what are your thoughts? I genuinely banter aside, what are your thoughts? Because I actually quite like Jesus signing. I think that's quality.
It might be. He's definitely not the clinical striker that we need. Because we don't create that many chances, as you saw this season. So we're going to need him to be clinical. He's at the right age now, so he's going to be in his prime. So maybe he might develop into the clinical striker. Who knows? But he's definitely an upgrade on what we got. I'm not the biggest Nketiah fan.
Do you not think he's worth 100k then a week?
He's definitely not worth 100k. That's for your World Cup money. That's big boy dollar. So I'm not sure. I'm honestly not sure. He's getting what he wants. He's going to stay at Arsenal, so he might be a backup again. So I don't know where this narrative was that he wants to leave Arsenal so he can start games. Is coming from, because he's going to be a backup unless we play Gabriel Jesus on the right. See, that's the thing.
Not going to happen, is it?
I don't know what Arteta wants, and I've not known what Arteta wanted for the past how many years has he been there now? 2.5, 3 years. So it's going to be another minefield. The targets that we're looking at are promising. I do like Yuri Tielemans.
Yeah, I think that's a brilliant signing. That
I think he's exactly what Arsenal need right now. A link between midfield and attack, because Odegaard, bless him, he's had to do a lot by himself, and sometimes when you need that, you do need that little bit of extra help, because the two guys that have been backing him up, Xhaka and El Neni this season, the less I speak about them, the better. And El Neni as well. He's also got a new contract. There we go.
He's deserved it, to be fair. He took you from 5th to 5th.
I forgot about that.
And then it does deserve it. I'm not going to lie. Like, he's come in, got you from 5th to 5th, so I think he deserves respect.
Exactly.
Yeah, hey, listen, I'm not gonna lie here. I was chatting to Raj on it yesterday, because obviously we went away together on the weekend.
Yeah.
And we were sat in the car on the way back to Sheffield. We were just deep in it, yeah. Yo, our clubs are shit, man. Like, both of our clubs. We just looked at each other. We thought, no, I'm gonna stop bickering with you, because we're both shit. Like, it doesn't even make a difference at this point.
Right.
You're
Absolutely.
shit, we're shit. Like, it's just so irrelevant. We're just both irrelevant. Well, growing up, we used to be the force. We used to be the big teams. Look at us. What's happened? We've fallen so far from grace. It's actually mad. And now people are actually justifying Eddie Nketiah. And Man United fans were justifying Lingard to get a contract. Like, what is this about? Like, it's absolute madness at this point.
See, that's the problem. That's where the problem lies. We have an idea of what our clubs used to be and still think that's where we are. We are far off.
We're so far off, man.
We are disgustingly far off where we used
Look at Madrid, bro. They got Camavinga on the bench, bro. He'd walk into our team with his eyes closed.
Easy. Valverde. I'd play Valverde at right back. He'd do a better job than both our right backs, man.
Play him anywhere, bro. That guy is too good, man.
He's fantastic. Man, we are so far off where we used to be, and that's where a lot of our fans need to draw the line and realize where we are now. Because we're not a team that's going to win titles in the next 10 years. Arsenal are not going to win a title in the next 10 years. Manchester United are going to win a title in the next 10 years. They have a better chance than Arsenal. Don't get twisted, but you're not going to win it.
Apples and oranges. I mean, like,
exactly.
Who really knows at this day and age with both the way our clubs are run?
So we are so far off, and I don't see Arsenal coming back from this brink. I think this was our golden opportunity to get top 4 because there was no distraction from Europe. We absolutely bottled the cup competitions this year, going out in the first rounds that we were in, or close to the first rounds that we were in. So we had the luxury of playing one game a week this season, and we managed to absolutely bottle top 4, to lose against Newcastle, to lose against Palace, to lose against Brighton, to lose against who's the other team, Southampton. If we won one of those games, we'd be singing the Champions League theme right now. But we didn't, because we bottled it, because we played poorly. And for that team to have the audacity to play that well against Everton,
that would have pissed me off. That I'm not gonna lie,
shameful, absolutely shameful. When it was needed, where were these man? I'm doing Delia Smith right now. Where were they? They were nowhere to be seen.
Let's be having ya.
Shocking. Saka shocking. Odegaard shocking. Smith Rowe shocking. Xhaka shocking. And that's the thing where I don't get about these. I'm going to mention Xhaka again. I don't get with these Arsenal fans. Just because he delivers a consistent 6 out of 10, does that mean he deserves to be anywhere near the captaincy? Does that mean he deserves to be anywhere near?
Please don't tell me your fans are saying he should be captain again. Please.
I'm pretty sure there were a whole bunch.
Oh my God! This man ripped off his shirt, threw the armband, and did one of these ones to fans. I can't believe you guys are actually forgiving him. Like, bro, that is outrageous.
He's a leader, apparently.
He's leading the red car race. That's what he's doing. Yeah, he's unreal. What player?
It's a joke. It's an absolute joke, and it's going to continue for a long, long time. It's going to continue as long as we keep Arteta there. I'm seeing that I'm just reading tweets where people are saying Arteta's ripped up the formula. He's gotten rid of the deadwood. He's building a structure, building a team that's going to compete. Who are we competing against? What are we competing for? We're not competing for the top 4. We should be in the top 4 this season. I don't care if we had a young squad or anything like that, bruv. These are the players that he hung his hat on. He said, "This is the team I'm going to pick."
He made the decision. This is what I keep saying. You can't use that as an excuse. That's like me going in. That's like me and Kojo becoming Man United managers, right? Kojo's manager, I'm assistant. We said, "No, what? We're gonna sell every old player and make our average age 22, and then we end up 8th. Then we'd be like, oh well, we've got a young team." I mean, we made the decision to sell all these players. Yeah. At the end of the day, it's on us. You live and die by your decisions as a manager.
They're right. Can I just make the point that Arsenal only have 4 players that are 22 or younger in their first team, so it's not really that young, but we move.
Bro, legit, man. That's what they're trying to sell Lacazette, and they're trying to bring the age down further. He's at signing Nketiah, but not Lacazette. Get rid of Pepe. Get rid of all the old heads. But like, for me personally, man, Arsenal need Tielemans badly. I think that would be a great addition. I think the Nketiah one, I kind of understand it, like from an Arsenal perspective, not because he's good enough to be at Arsenal, but there's not really many players out there that you could sign as a second striker.
Yeah.
Listen, it seems like Jesus is your number 1, which is fine. I think he's good enough for Arsenal without doubt. I think he'd bring a lot of quality to your team compared to what you've had. What does that mean?
Oh, 100,000.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah. I think Nketiah deserves it.
100,000 K backup, by the way. 100,000 backup for a backup.
I mean, I can't talk. Man United have got a stupid pay of wages. I mean, we're the worst club in the world for wages, so we can't really say shit to you about that. I mean, 100K sounds like 100K sounds quite cheap for Manchester United. If Rashford's on 250K and he's doing, he's selling books. That's about it. Like, he's not doing anything else. Like, I've loved everything he's done off the pitch. Don't get me wrong, but he's probably sold more books than he's or sold more school dinners that he's assisted a teammate like in his whole career. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, just what is going off? He's on 250 grand a week. Like, what? He's on $1 million a month. Like, for doing what? We're paying an author $1 million a month. Like, what is going on? that guy's getting more than J.K. Rowling and shit. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, she didn't make that much money. I swear to God, fair play, man. Great book, man. But $1 million a month is a lot. It's quite a lot. But yeah, coming back to Nketiah, like for me, look, who are you gonna bring in? Like, if you get rid of Nketiah, hypothetically, who would you bring in? But for me, I just don't understand why he's staying. That's the bit I don't get. Like, was it all about the money? Was it all about the contract? Because he's not gonna play, really. Like, he play Europa League games here and there, but he's not good enough to start. I don't think, personally.
I don't think he's ever wanted to leave. Obviously, the guy loves Arsenal, and that's his club. So I don't think he's ever wanted to leave.
Yeah.
He loves Chelsea, bro. I'm talking about loves Arsenal. He loves Chelsea.
Oh, okay. He loves Chelsea. Okay, cool. But once you listen, bearing in mind Nketiah before this contract was probably on a maximum of 25,000 a week. Once you slapped that up to 100,000, knowing that he was not going to get that Everton or apparently West Ham who wanted him, he's staying at the club. You've given him a contract that he doesn't have to say no to, or he can't say no to because he's not going to get any money better than that. And what it means is, at his young age, whether he moves or he signs another contract at Arsenal, that wage goes up. So you put yourself in a position of a really bad position, actually, because you can only earn more money from here. He has the right to.
That's the problem is he doesn't warrant going up. So that means we can't sell him.
So am I right in thinking Lukaku scored more goals than him? No cap, like, I'm not even trying to ban it really. I feel like they've got about the same amount of goals.
I think they got the same. But then again, Nketiah's only played for half the season, so I'm not entertaining that. I just don't think he's good enough.
I was just taking a dig at Lukaku, to be fair.
I know, but still, he's 100K for Eddie Nketiah, man.
I mean, what I will say is though, like, isn't Saka on like 40K, like 40K or something like that?
Yep, and I think he's only got like a year left in his contract, or 2 maybe.
So Saka's got 1 year left on his contract.
Maybe 2, maybe.
Let me have a look. I'll have a look for that as well. Actually,
yeah, go.
Because if I'm Saka or if I'm Liverpool, I'm going in for Saka. You know,
absolutely.
I know Salah plays there, but you could potentially move him about somewhat. In fact, Saka could play left wing, anyways. I think
yes.
You got 2 years.
You should be okay then. But yeah, for me personally, regarding the Arsenal situation, it's just interesting to see what happens with your midfield because you definitely need midfield. I think Tielemans, obviously, if Partey can stay fit, him and Tielemans would make a great partnership. There's no denying that. With Odegaard in the 10, I think that would be good. Midfield 3. But I just think you need a bit more quality in the team. What about Hassan Mawar? I swear he's going for like 13 million. Like, would you still take it?
I don't know, man. But you know who should be in this Arsenal midfield?
Also,
Guendouzi.
Yeah,
Guendouzi should be in the Arsenal midfield. Lucas Torreira.
You know what, Torreira? We spoke about this last week, didn't we? I don't know how he's not getting in team.
He doesn't want to be there. He hates Arsenal. Well, he doesn't hate Arsenal, but he hates.
Before, yes. Now, at the very start of the season, he said, "I'd like to stay here," and I said, "Nope, off to Fiorentina."
It is where it is. But listen, let's finish on Tottenham Hotspur. I feel like we missed one out. I can't remember, but we're not mentioning West Ham. Lawless isn't here to defend his shit team. So let's talk about Tottenham. You kind of already alluded to it. Perisic, obviously, Conte getting his signings in early. I've seen a lot of people say that. I don't know if you guys have seen this as well, but I've seen a lot of people say if Conte gets 4 or 5 players, they could challenge, which I think is a ludicrous statement. But Conte has got the capabilities of turning shitness into wine. I'll give him that. Kojo, what do you reckon? In terms of Tottenham Hotspur, obviously got one signing. Perisic, very reliable player. I'm assuming he's going to play wing back. Obviously, he might play the front 3, but I would assume it's wing back. What do you make of Tottenham going into this window? Like, what do you think they need mostly?
They need to improve that back line and get one more centre midfielder. And I think they started off well. I mean, Perisic is going to play as part of that back 3. I think we obviously don't rate Ben Davies, we don't rate Dyer, we don't rate Davinson Sanchez. We do like Romero, but the one benefit they have of getting good fullbacks under a Conte system is once you have those 2 going forward and draining the front 3 plus one more midfielder, you get someone to protect. You still got a back 4 that's able to just block shots. They don't have to really tackle or be technical. They can just block all day long, and that works for our Tottenham team. It works for a Conte team, and he's got man like Darmian and Victor Moses looking like, you know, top fullbacks in the past. So it's not that bad a shout. Not the challenge. Look, I don't think they'll challenge unless they are able to bring in, when I say top caliber, not just by name but by performance. Top caliber centre backs and one more right back as well, because Doherty is obviously injured and Emerson Royale. The fans call him Chicken Royale, so that just tells you everything you need to know about that. Don't laugh like that. So, yeah, if they do that, then I've said it many times. Isn't it? The Formula 2 challenge is not actually that difficult. Back your manager, give him who he wants, get players that work fit for your system, and your team will play. If they do it, I'm not saying they'll finish second or first, but they could finish third and knock Chelsea out of position. But then again, Chelsea just been taken over and they've got a lot more money than they had even before. So they're also interested. But yeah,
I think Chelsea. Yeah, obviously when at the start of the show, myself and Daniel, we spoke for like 20 minutes on Chelsea, and from what I've heard him say, it seems like Chelsea are definitely going to be a threat next season if they actually sign the right players for a change. But obviously, time will tell regarding Chelsea too. But I do think Chelsea would potentially go a bit higher because obviously Tuchel's going to be back. The fans love him, so you'd expect something good from him. But in terms of Conte, KL, obviously you don't really want to be having this conversation, do you? But do you think Tottenham are closer than we think, as some people have suggested, or do you think it's an absolute myth that they should be even in the same conversation, even after 5 signings?
I think they go closer to top 3 because I don't see them getting to the 92, 95 points that Man City and Liverpool have acquired. But what we need to mention is they got Harry Kane, who I imagine will be motivated next season, so he'll be off to the races. Plus, he'll have Kulusevski and Perisic whipping in balls to just so many options for him. Son getting closer and closer to that world class category as well. So going forward, they're going to be very dangerous. So that's sorted. It's just sorting out that backline. And there is no doubt in my mind that the 2 signings that he brings in are going to be centre backs. He's going to bring in centre backs because he can't have Romero and Eric Dyer and Davinson Sanchez or whoever he has at his disposal right now going into next season. That's impossible. Impossible. That cannot happen. So he's going to get 2 centre backs, and from there, the mistakes die out. So they're going to keep a lot more clean sheets. They're going to be a lot more solid at the back going into next season. So I don't think they'll challenge for a title. One, we have to remember it is Tottenham. So they will be Spursy. There will be moments of absolute chaos and.
Or there could be Arsenal and bottle it.
No, because Arsenal have won trophies in the past few years. That's
but you bottled a 4-point lead with 3 games left. So
yeah, well,
I think we might have to rephrase that. We need to think of a new one because that is a glorious bottle job.
It is a glorious bottle job, and I do admit that is a glorious bottle job. But we're not even close to getting to changing that
the history of Tottenham.
Exactly. There we go.
The history.
So, they're going to be dangerous next season, and I think they're going to be closer than people think, but just not close enough.
Yeah, no, I think for me personally, when I first heard that statement, I thought it was absolutely ludicrous. I've got to be honest, but having thought about it, if they do sign 4 or 5 players, let's say 4, which was a realistic, that actually go into the first team, then without a shadow of doubt, Conte has got the capabilities of getting the best out of average players. I mean, as Coach has mentioned, he's done it time and time again. He did that Inter Milan with Darmian and Moses again at Chelsea when he initially came into the league.
I think a lot of that is blown out proportional. It is Serie A.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. There's no denying that.
But you got Moses doing it here as well, though. To be fair to him.
Yeah, he did do it in the Premier as well.
At the very beginning,
no, but Moses was destined. Moses was basically destined for the door, innit? Like he was gone. Basically, he was already out the door. I basically what I'm trying to say, he's got the capabilities of turning Doherty into an actual player. You saw it prior to his injury, starting to improve, and Spurs fans were actually, giving him a lot of praise. So for me personally, Conte has that Midas touch into the sense that he's more than capable of turning average players into decent ones. But shout out to Eddie as well. Thank you for showing love and obviously dropping a like, my guy. I appreciate you as always. And also shout out to James as well, said another great show. Thank you as always for supporting. The United way, as always in the building. But listen, we're going to wrap it up there regarding my thoughts on Tottenham. As always, they're relevant, so I don't really go into too much detail. Make sure you slap a like, subscribe to the channel, Kish, wherever you are. I hope it's raining in Mexico, my brother. But listen, it's been your boy Osman. Hopefully you've enjoyed the show. If you haven't already, make sure you rewind it and watch the other segments. We started with Chelsea, went into Man United, and then from there we went to Liverpool, and then obviously we got to Arsenal and Tottenham. So in that order, so if you want to watch it back, I will put it in the comment section as well. Apart from that, it's been your boy Osman. Follow our socials down below. Kale and Kojo, before we go, let them know where they can find you.
Yep, I'll take this one. YouTube, Free Midfield Podcast.
You take this one. No, you mean you take this one. You take this one.
I take this one. Take 150.
I'll take this one. Audio, videos, Free Midfield. That's the number 3 Midfield altogether. Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, Instagram, Spotify. I feel like I'm missing. Oh, Twitter, of course. Twitter. There you go. Free Midfield.
Yes, you love to see it. And regarding myself, Osman Talk Tonight, Twitter, Instagram.
Damn, he's better than me.
To be fair, I was just about to say TikTok. If you want actual content, I'll post on it like 3 times a day. To be fair, so like TikTok's the one. So if you want to follow me on something, follow me on that or Twitter. My Twitter is basically just taking the piss out of Liverpool at the moment. So if you want to enjoy that as well, I'm sure you will. So yeah, Osman Talk Tonight with them too. But apart from that, it's been your boy. Shout out to Daniel as well. Obviously, his socials will be down below. Obviously, a big dog in that. But yeah, thank you for everyone tuning in.